Batson and Associates, right here on Sky 99.5 FM. I don't know if he's ready now, but he's just vibing to the music. So definitely you can join us this morning on Sky 99.5. He's here for a little while with us this morning. And of course, I'm going to give you some numbers. Don't call now. But you can save these numbers. And when the lines are open, you can call and ask your questions, all right? Again, we try to pay attention to those questions. We don't take anything for granted. But if you understand, we try to pay attention to those questions. That is considered really important. Or if you have your questions that you want to send via WhatsApp, it is 333-9950. That is 333-9950. Understand what we say important, right? So you can listen on air, or you can join us at www.sky995fm.com. If you have family abroad and you'd like them to join us, you can send them this website, www.sky995fm.com, or you can join us right here at Sky 99.5 FM. All right, so let's make way for Dr. Batson of Batson and Associates right here on Sky 99.5 FM. Good morning, Dr. Batson.
Good morning, Dion. Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm right, man. It sounds nice and strong, ready for them today.
Definitely. A pleasant good morning to the listeners of Sky 99.5. Always a pleasure to be in your company. On this rainy Sunday morning.
I understand it's raining a lot outside there.
Yeah. And we expect to get some rain in the next maybe 5 days. In fact, they say it might be a little more serious than rain, eh? So yeah, because
Okay.
Yeah. Do what you need to do when you need to do it. As I always tell people that. You know they say if you know.
Let me just take this opportunity one time. I don't want to forget while it's hot on the press. Let me say happy birthday to Shaquille in the back there. I understand today's his birthday.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, man. So just saying some love and blessings to Shaquille. All right. So love and blessings to you, Shaquille. And I hand over the mic to you, Dr. Batson.
Yes, definitely. I was going to comment on that too as well. Happy birthday to you, Shaquille. I always tell persons, they always have a saying, people come into your life for a reason and a season. Some for a good season, some a better season than others. But because some of them is learn some lessons. Sometimes not some of the best lessons, but you learn lessons all the same. But with Shaquille, so far the experience is an excellent experience. Great human being, man. Always willing to learn, teachable, coachable, and most importantly, he's the type of individual, he pay attention to what he does. So, shout out to you, sir, and, many more to come, man. Good fella.
Blessings.
So the listeners of Sky 99.5, as I said, as usual, pleasant good morning to you. Today, we're going to change it up a little bit. We're going to talk about tinnitus. Tinnitus is something I don't think I've spoken about in a while. We're going to be discussing, who are more prone to suffer from tinnitus, what is tinnitus, and what do we at Batson and Associates offer to deal with that from a perspective of natural and integrated medicine. We're going to touch on the kidneys as well. Again, this kidney disease situation in Trinidad is a little concerning when we realize how many persons are affected by renal failure, nephritis, different aspects or different diseases of the kidney. It continues to be worrisome, for want of a better expression. We're also going to discuss, what can you do as an individual to not fall in the trap or the snare or be ensnared by kidney disease. What is it about this particular situation, or what is it that contributes to this particular situation of kidney or renal failure? We're also going to discuss the matter of blocked arteries. A lot of persons sometimes confused, stressed out, when they get the news. Listen to me. You may go to a cardiologist. You might do an echocardiogram. They might go a little further where they actually do angiogram, and they come to the realization that you have blocked arteries. What do? You might be told, listen, you have to find about 250,000 plus, because after your post-care and post-operative and that type of thing, there's an next whole set of money. So you might be near close to $500,000, which I think, I know Trinidad is quite fortunate to have some people with deep pockets, but if you could save yourself $250,000, $500,000, I think you'll be glad or willing to hear what that is. So we're going to be discussing that this morning, because, I always have the strong belief that, an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. And it's something that I think people take for granted because they really don't take action until it may be too late. And the thing is, from the perspective of integrative medicine, as opposed to Western medicine, is that if you come to an integrative practitioner and they tell you they cannot help you, nothing real bad with you. In local terms, things real bad with you, if that is the case. Because usually, we have been able to help a lot of persons with kidney disease. We have had persons stage 5 kidney that came to us, and when we were finished with them in 8 months, they went to stage 3, a 3A, which is almost impossible. You don't hear that happening, but we are actually able to do that with a lot of persons. We have had clients who had situations with hypertension, and because of the hypertension being so bad and significantly contributing to the demise of the kidneys, we were actually able to reverse the hypertension situation and put them in a situation where the kidneys function better and, saved them or prevented them from having to go for dialysis. So that's always good news, because the thing is, if you go to a Western doctor and something is wrong with your kidney, they're telling you, oh, right here, they got no cure for that, that can't fix it. As with everything for them. But I totally disagree with that. I've seen it from a theoretical perspective, and most importantly, from a practical perspective, and a personal practical perspective, in the sense of actually dealing with people closely who had those problems. And once they follow the protocol, we give them the weather-specific vitamins, minerals, because that is what makes the difference. There has to be some set protocol in place to follow. What is a protocol? We have some bright people here, right? So a protocol, in my opinion, is basically some sort of program or some sort of sequence in which specific products are used or something is followed over a specific period of time. In this particular case, we're speaking about medical protocols. So from the perspective of natural and integrated medicine, it will always be a situation where you have, whether we give you, let's say vitamin D3, we might say, okay, you need to take 10,000 IUs or 20,000 IUs of vitamin D3 for the next 4 months. And we might say, okay, you need to get some optimizer. Optimizer is a product that we carry at Batson and Associates that is a free radical scavenger. So what it does, it actually reduces oxidative stress in the body and in turn reduces inflammatory response. What does that mean? So it means that someone who has a situation with a kidney problem, a free radical scavenger will help you. it also helps as it relates to improving blood circulation, and not only blood circulation in the large blood vessels like arteries and veins, but primarily in smaller blood vessels like the capillaries. So in that whole particular aspect, you find that you are placed in a situation where once you follow the recommendation, you will be able to see significant improvement in whatever the ailment is. You know, so that's something that you need to pay very close attention to. Okay, you're listening to Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director at Batson and Associates. And of course, let me say a pleasant good morning to our consultants and all the hardworking staff at Batson and Associates, our blood microscopists, senior or junior consultants rather, Ms. Karishma Ramdan, Mr. Paul Green, Mr. Rene Bastamante, and all the other hardworking members of staff. Davey, Ms. Roma, Ms. Budram, pleasant good morning to you guys. In St. James, Mr. Montut, Ms. is Eleanor. You know, always working hard, you know, with the St. James office. They're ensuring that you have your water. St. James is one of the offices that, I mean, they use that alkaline water to the T. And, you know, in speaking about, you know, kidney disease, one of the things we're going to speak about is dehydration. Because, you know, so many persons are dehydrated or end up dehydrated, sometimes unknowing to these individuals, you know, and a lot of persons do not really understand the importance of proper hydration. And that's something I always try to really reiterate and emphasize and re-emphasize for individuals as it relates to being healthy. So that's one of the things that we're going to touch on as well. So let me give you those clinic telephone numbers. Keep in mind, we do have our open clinic days. Now that we kind of have the COVID situation a little better under control, you know, we have started back that situation where, you know, it's our numbers first. Because, you know, especially the day when you have to see me, simply because of how that situation arises. Now, but we'll give you a fair idea whether it is the morning time, so early morning, mid-morning, early afternoon, late afternoon, and we would give you, you know, a situation or a spacing in that area because we're trying to lessen the weight that you have, you know, in order to deal with us. The thing is, you have a little weight, you know, but we worth the weight, you know. I always tell people that we worth the weight because we have to ensure that what we recommend and what we do for you, we are thorough in what we do. It's not, you know, slam bam, thank you, man business. You know, it's something that requires some work. It has to involve some thought processes that, you know, are really necessary for ensuring, you know, proper success as it relates to your situation, whether it be diabetes, hypertension, acid reflux, whatever the case may be. So those locations, we are located on the first floor of Money Talks building. That is Money Talks building in Montrose, Chagonas. We are also on the corner of Ramsamooch Trace and the SS Erie Main Road in Dede, Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James, and the Triangle building in Scarborough, Tobago. The number for Chagonas, that number is 222-8261. That's 222-8261. For St. James's number is 220-8113. That's 220-8113. And that office is in the Red Edge Mall. That's Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James. The Debe office is at corner Ramsamooch Trace and the SS Erie Main Road in Debe. That telephone number for Debe, that South office, is 223-7515. That's 223-7515. And for Tobago, Tobago is the Triangle building in Scarborough, and that number is 226-4553. 226-4553. When we speak about kidney or renal failure, we understand, or I think a lot of people don't understand, the close relationship that high blood pressure has with kidney malfunction, renal dysfunction, that type of thing. Now, what is high blood pressure? High blood pressure is hypertension or high pressure in your arteries, right? Simple anatomy and physiology as it relates to blood vessels in the body. The arteries are your largest. Then you have the veins. And we're talking about in terms of circumference. Then the veins are more elastic than the arteries. And then you have the capillaries. Now, the capillaries is the trouble, fellas, in the sense that that microcirculation in the body is essentially important to prevent. So in other words, once you have healthy microcirculation, you do not get stroke. It is very difficult for you to get a heart attack. It is very difficult for you to end up with things like Alzheimer's, Parkinson, vascular dementia, because these type of diseases are primarily diseases of lack of blood flow to your brain. So think about bleeding behind your eyes, which is detached retina, or what is known as diabetic retinopathy or retinopathy, which could be non-diabetic. So in other words, usually diabetics can end up with neuropathy, which is bleeding behind the eyes. But there is something known as non-diabetic neuropathy, which is the same situation, but not caused by diabetes, right? Now, always remember that there has to be a cause to whatever the situation is. So there always is some underlying issue, and that's the advantages of integrated medicine as opposed to Western medicine. Western medicine always, or most of the time, addresses the symptomology of the problem, sorry. And I tell persons I pass my stage or pass the stage as being a consultant. I mean, it's over 12 years now, so I really not in any argument with anybody. I really, really, really don't care, as bad as that might sound, to be in any argument with anybody. I doing this too long. I'm not saying that everything that I'm saying is law. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. But that talk about this type of medicine and that type of medicine and this is better and this is not. We have to understand, in the final analysis, integrative medicine is what we need. So we have to have some aspect of the Western medicine as well as some aspect where we take critical information into consideration. And the critical information we're speaking about here is your diet, your lifestyle, which would either be a sedentary one or one that includes some type of exercise. We can no longer ignore our lifestyle as it relates to diseases that affect us. Anybody who is doing that, you are past the stage of foolish, you're dumb. That's just utter and total nonsense. You just need to go and as a recluse or some kind of thing, because they cannot be separated. If you was okay, so let me put it in layman terms for you. If you was a drunkard, if you did like rum, plenty, you smoke plenty cigarette, when you reach 65 and you have cardiovascular disease, you're trying to tell me a medical professional going to look at you in your eyes and tell you, watch you and tell you that have nothing to do, what you did in the past has nothing to do with your current state of mind. You have to be mad. Or you drinking rum with them too, or they drinking rum with you too. Always a mad people party. And that is what we have to understand. You have to take into consideration your lifestyle as it relates to the diseases that affect you. Let me repeat that. You have to take into consideration your lifestyle as it relates to the diseases that affect you. You want me to say it again? You have to take into consideration your lifestyle as it relates to the diseases that affect you. Don't talk stupidness to me. You don't be telling me you're not drinking water. You don't drink water when the day comes and you have glaucoma. You have glaucoma. You're suffering from glaucoma. So you have high ocular pressure, open angle glaucoma, and you telling me foolishness that you don't drink water and that don't have anything to do with you having glaucoma. You need to get your brain examined. You need to check and see if you have a pulse, because clearly you're talking foolishness. That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Stop the nonsense. Right? You have to take that into consideration. Let me give you an example. I remember there was this time I got a client who came to me and she had a skin condition. What was the diagnosis? What? Somebody told her atopic dermatitis. Somebody said lichen planus. So she got about a few different diagnoses. So I said, okay. So when they came to us, the blood was done for me. I was reviewing the blood analysis. So in the blood analysis, we take a drop of blood, we put it under a microscope, and we look at the blood. Now the thing is, not everybody could do what I'm talking about here. Not everybody understand it. Especially there's some people who say that don't make any sense. There is no scientific validation. You're talking, there's a next set of mad people. They need to go and get a pulse check too, because there's something wrong with them. You're talking nonsense. Blood under proper examination, live blood, listen to me. There isn't anything that we cannot determine. You take what I'm telling you. You know why? Blood is the greatest witness. Why is it the greatest witness? It is able to tell past, present, and future. You want me to repeat it? Blood, human blood, is the greatest witness because It has the ability to tell past, present, and future. So you could come and sit down and hush your mouth. You zip your mouth, tape up your mouth, don't say nothing. And we will take a sample of your blood and put it under a microscope right in front of your face. And listen to me, you will swear I'm living in your house. I will tell you what it is eat, what you do eat. I'll tell you what is wrong with your liver. I'll tell you if you have problems with your bones. I'll tell you if you have problems with your mind. So if you have problems with anxiety, depression, because some people depressed and don't know they're depressed. You know? That's the next thing. You know? When you look at mental health, and we don't really have any mental health in this country. Sad. When I say that, in the sense that I don't think they really pay close attention to it. And we minimize the seriousness of mental health, especially among men. And there's something all over the world, but I think in the Caribbean, especially, we don't really pay attention to mental health, especially our young children and elders as well, because there are a lot of older individuals that have serious problems with mental health. Depression, for example, a lot of these people live by themselves. A lot of them, their children, maybe most of their family out of the country. They live alone in a house. Some of them, their eyesight may not be as it should be at that age. So because of that, so they're not as comfortable. And research shows, especially as you get older, companionship is even more important. Not necessarily companionship as in having a spouse or wife, whatever the case may be, excuse me, but actually with persons living in the house. So it's very difficult when it is very difficult when you live alone, and that could actually play on the mind and cause problems with anxiety, depression, whatever the case may be. So I was just saying that to say that we have to understand the importance of really paying attention to those things and help individuals where we need to help. So as I was saying with the blood analysis, it gives us a picture of your mental. I could tell you if you sleep properly. We could tell you if you have problems with depression, if you have problems with hormonal imbalance, simply because of what blood is actually able to tell us. So keep that in mind. There's something we look at known as biological terrain, which I love to do that because in the layered blood, once you're good, and I have some good consultants, believe me, they are very good. They able to determine where your issues are. If you're dehydrated, and I always tell people water is everything. So just today, when we're talking about kidney problems, one of the major reasons for kidney problems, renal failure, is what? Dehydration. People, you're just not drinking enough water. You need to stop making excuses and do what you need to do. If you need to put it on your phone, where there is a app where you can actually remind yourself, set an alarm to drink your water. If that's what you have to do, then do that. If it means putting a large bottle of water in front of you by your desk, because once you're working in an air-conditioned environment, you don't feel thirsty because of the temperature. It fools the body. So a lot of times you sit down in our office there and thinking you're good and you're thirsty as hell, but your body can't tell you anything simply because of the environment that you are in. So in a case like that, you need to take that bottle of water. Take that bottle of water and put it on your desk. So get a 3-liter bottle, put it on your desk and make sure, because you have to time yourself, because especially the ladies, not that I'm advocating as a man, pulling aside by the side of the road and urinating, but it's easier for us to do that. It is more difficult for a female. So ladies, you know yourself if you're going to work for 8 o'clock. When you reach in work, from 9 you're drinking water. You drink water from 9 till about 3. because you know you're leaving the office about maybe 4:30. So stop, drink water hour and a half before you leave. So you have no problem when you're going down the people highway to be feeling like you're going mad inside the vehicle, because you know you don't want to be pulling aside by the side of the road kind of business. And then when you reach home, you do the necessary. Okay? So you have to come up, in other words, the advice that I'm giving you, you have to come up with a plan. Because it's your kidneys, it's your body, and nobody else could do what you have to do. I tell people, I can't drink water for you. Your husband can't drink water for you. Your wife can't drink water for you. In fact, they can even take care of you to a certain extent, but in the final analysis, you have to take care of you. Very, very important. So what we're going to do, we're going to go over to the telephone lines. I'm going to take you all over to Dion. Now, I have a little hiccup situation here this morning. Now, I tell all of my business a little bit. Now, the hiccup will fix it. Why I have it is because I went to the gym and I do something, and, you know, there's something known as pleurisy of the diaphragm. So I figure I shift my diaphragm a little bit, and that's why I have it. So I am going to the chiropractor in a very short period of time to have this rectified. So don't be thinking, Dr. Batson, but Dr. Batson, hiccups there? Yes, I do. They come and go, but I know the reason why, and I'll have it rectified before the end of the day. All right? So, Mr. Dion, sir, yeah, because I know... 500. But you know, but the thing is, that's your vagus nerve, eh? And the thing is, your vagus nerve is a funny nerve, eh? And that's the nerve that actually controls, is the vagus, and there's one other one. And those two nerves is what would give you the hiccup, that whole sensation to get a hiccup. It actually controls the diaphragm to an extent. So I know there was maybe a little bit of over enthusiasm with me in the gym. And it's only afterwards when I went home and I started drinking water and I did all sorts of things. I was like, but where does this come from? And then when I tracked back, I realized, I said, okay, something I did in the gym. I think I haven't done that exercise in a long time where you have to bring up your legs. So I think because of that, it sort of shifted it a little bit. But very soon, Mr. Budu is going to see me in a little bit and he's going to sort me out. So.
Okay, definitely. Well, guys, you're listening to Sky 99.5 FM. Dr. Batson of Batson and Associates, and you can, at this time, you can give us a call if you have questions for Dr. Batson. I want to encourage you to please to call and to ask your questions. Some persons, Dr. Batson, may require to just have a short word with you just to get more information. If you are sharing, you share as much information as you can, so about your situation, so we can so you can understand exactly what's happening, what's going on. We do that so that we can see how many persons we can get in. Please understand that we answer the questions based as they come in as best as we can. We may not be able to do all the questions. Dr. Batson, are you right now live on Facebook?
Yes, I am live on Facebook. In fact, I'm now getting it's a good thing I talk about the hiccups. When you think people in here, and they're on a roll here, somebody tell me I need a tight thread. Somebody...
Oh, the old trend.
Yeah. Listen to me. I try all sorts of things. I have to go to the chiropractor. I would have gone for the week, but because of my time, and I couldn't go. But I'll get it sorted out.
All right.
Yeah, don't worry.
Did anyone say to lean over and drink the water upside down? That kind of Spider-Man thing?
Yeah. That I actually read up on that. Actually, in fact, I got some really serious thing. Karishma said, "Give your boss some water before he did."
Let's hope that doesn't happen.
No, I will be all right, man. I'll be all right.
We should give Dr. Batson some water in the meantime. All right. Let me see here. So you can give us a call at 624-7729, 625-2759. All right, that's 624-7729, 625-2759. Or you can send us a WhatsApp message at 333-9950. That is 333-9950. You can send us a WhatsApp message or voice note there if you'd like to speak to Dr. Batson. So, Dr. Batson, let's go to the phone lines and see who is there at this time. Hello, good morning, welcome. Hello, good morning. Could you repeat that, please, sir? Right. Marvin? Yes. Okay.
Right.
Twist. Yes, we're hearing a little static on the line.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to make out. Go ahead. Okay, Dr. Batson, did you hear what he said?
I believe I got the gist of what he said. He said he is paralyzed. He said he gets some situations with constipation, and there was something on his kidneys. But what is the issue with the kidneys? What is the issue with your kidneys? Is it that you did a kidney test, a kidney function, and you realize that something is wrong with it? What's the situation? Right. So is it? No, go ahead. No, I understand that. But what I'm trying to ascertain is you said that you have problems with your kidneys, correct? Oh, okay. Right. So is it that the kidneys functional and they just have a little damage, or what is the situation?
Okay.
All right. Well, let me see if I could give a general statement. Now, the thing is, persons who are paralyzed, persons who have situations with mobility, usually would have issues with bowel movement subsequent to that. Because remember, bowel movement is very important and reliant on the tone of your diaphragm and the tone of your colon. Now, when I say tone, we're talking about the muscle tone. So the more muscle tone or the more fit you are in the abdominal area, the usually better bowel movement you're going to have. So if you're someone who is paralyzed, what you're going to have to do, you're going to have to start doing exercises, somebody to assist you, of course, to do stretches while you're on the bed, while you're sitting, in instances where you can actually, do those specific movements that you're able to do. So they might actually have to stretch your legs for you, that type of thing, in order to keep the body and the circulation at a particular level so that you don't get to the point of being severely constipated. And that is a challenge that you find with persons who are not mobile. Mobility is very important for a number of things: proper blood circulation, proper elimination, that type of thing. So in a situation like that, my advice is try your best and get someone who can do those stretches with you, whether it's every morning, every other day, to keep the body at a particular level. It even applies to persons who have arthritis situations. A lot of times persons with really bad arthritis, what they do is, they stay in bed, they sit, they become very sedentary, and as a result of that, you find that lack of mobility actually makes the arthritis worse. So it is something that you need to pay very close attention to. A lot of individuals, I think, do not invest properly in chiropractors, massage therapists, and even physiotherapists, especially when you're dealing with injuries. I've had persons who came to us and they had serious problems with movement and different types of mobility and that type of thing. And it's only when we made specific recommendations for chiropractors and whatnot, like the one I have to go and see later on, for the hiccup, that you're having a lot of fun with. Because I wasn't even seeing the comments, but it's very good that you're enjoying yourself. It's always good. You can laugh at me, that's not a problem. Because I just give all the real problems. So they must say, well, Dr. Batson, it's your turn. So take it. So Honeybee having a good time on the live. Honeybee say, I need to pull a piece of thread from a shirt and tie it on my forehead. Honeybee say, but Olia, get some water for this man before the hiccup kill him. So they're having a whole ball because one of my members of staff sent it to me, and they having a ball. So all you enjoy yourself is, you know, that's life. I drinking water in the corner here and minding my business. Minding my business.
Oh my goodness. All right, so let's move on. Let's see who's there. Hello, good morning, welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I heard that Dr. Batson is having problems with hiccups.
Yeah.
But this is an old remedy. Just boil some ginger, drink it.
All right, Shaquille.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, no problem. Shaquille, yeah, ginger here. Thank you for that, darling. Thank you for that.
Let's go forward. Hello, good morning, welcome.
Hi, good morning.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
My problem are actually two problems I'm calling on. One is myself, one is my husband.
Right.
I suffer from HBP. I had a heart attack in 2012.
Wait, just now, you suffer.
In 2013.
Whoa.
And I had a TIA about 3 months ago.
Nah, man.
And so sometimes my pressure is like 2 something over like 120, 120, 125, things like that. Another problem I'm having now, every morning when I wake up, it's like I have to warm up. All my joints, I mean, every single joint in my body is paining, excruciating pain, my shoulders pain, like if a knife is going through my shoulders, and my wrist pain. So I was a data entry operator for like about 15 years.
Right.
So the wrist, I don't know if that has anything to do with what's going on with the wrist right now, but it's real excruciating pain in all my joints. And then when I warm up through the day, it's just the shoulders and the wrist that continues pain, and the rest of the body kind of eases up. That's my problem. Now,
Right.
my husband came by you all recently and got the Santulan. Unfortunately, we haven't used it because it has like about 3 to 4 weeks we've gotten it.
Okay.
But we want to be able to get more everything that they told us that we have to get, like the provisions and things, and get more cauliflowers and the something starches, simple carbs,
Right.
things like that. First thing. Now, with my husband now, he has problem with urinating.
Right.
He gets like he has to force it sometimes, and then sometimes he would be driving and he just can't hold it. It just can't hold it.
Right.
Gone to the Cancer Society, has done tests, the PSA levels were within reasonable levels.
What is reasonable? What is reasonable levels?
Yeah, he did the test at N8.
Right.
And that was said it was slightly swollen, but nothing worrying.
Okay.
But in the meantime, all that did was put him on tamasulosin, which is just treating his symptoms. So he has to be taking tamasulosin every day, and if he don't take it, then he go back to the same thing. He forcing to urinate. So I don't know if you can help in any one of these two situations, barring the fact that I intend to drink Santulan here.
But tell me something. So you said you had a DVT, you had a TIA, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So that means you're on warfarin then?
Yes. Well, the hospital is put you on the generic brands, but yes.
And how long are you using that for?
Well, they have stopped me from using it initially after the heart attack and the
Right.
pulmonary embolism.
Right.
And then when I had the TIA about 3 months ago, they put me back on everything,
Jeez.
which is the Plavix. They're using the Plavix, rovastatin. Of course, it's terrible, but they have me on rovastatin, and I am afraid to stop it for what might happen.
So,
they have not Hysterel, which is something for the heart.
right.
And enalapril, 2 in the morning, 2 in the evening.
No.
Plus the nifedipine. So.
But okay, so let me ask you something. So have you made any changes as yet to your diet and that kind of thing? Because if you're telling me your blood pressure is 200 and something over 1 something, that's a serious. You check your kidneys recently?
No, I have never checked my kidney.
You never test your kidneys?
No.
All right. Now you need to. Well, we could help you. I could help you if you want. You could listen off the air. I'll make some general statements, some things that you could use at home, because there's a serious thing. You literally is a ticking time bomb. That's real serious, real serious.
Yeah.
All right. So listen. I'll address that, and I'll address your husband as well.
Thank you very much. Okay, sure.
All right, my dear. All right. So we're going to talk a little bit about circulation. So people who would get DVTs, so those of you who are not aware what a DVT is are acronym for something known as deep vein thrombosis, right? So usually people who get, well, DVTs are usually in your legs, right? And it primarily is a clot they're talking about. You have a clot in your legs. Now, people usually end up with deep vein thrombosis. It means that you have very terrible circulation, which could come about or be as a response or result of a number of things. So let me run through the number of things. People who sit a lot, who stand a lot, if you're on your feet a lot, it is easy for you to get those situations. People who tend to have a sedentary lifestyle, so you don't really exercise, you're not as active as you would like to be. If you have a situation with weight, so if you're a bit heavier than you're supposed to, because of that standing and that excess weight in the legs, it can contribute to that. Now, certain types of medication can also contribute to DVTs, and this is something that a lot of medical professionals do not tell persons, which is why I always tell you, regardless of who your doctor is, whenever you are given medication, read it up. Read it up. Simply because there are a lot of side effects. One of the major category of drugs that cause DVTs and circulation problems are birth control medication. So you need to be very careful. I know women, if you're using birth control for the specific aspect of birth control, I could respect you for that. But when you're using it for hormonal imbalance and menstrual cycle problems, that's where you need to be careful. You're essentially spinning top in mud, and you'll end up in a situation that you don't want to be in. And Dr. Batson didn't say that. This is a opinion that is shared by a lot of medical professionals, including Western medical practitioners. You need to be very careful, especially, you know that thing they call Depo-Provera, Diane 35. You all know them. Be very, 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 very careful. If you have no reason to be using birth control, do not use it. And I say that blatantly and bluntly. Be very, very careful. Those type of medications are notorious for causing blood clots. Notorious. In fact, if you read the medication, you go up and you look at it, you will see that is one of the major side effects. So be very careful. Do not use it if you don't have to. You also have to be very careful with these intrauterine devices that they have, because you know what is going on in the United States with all this drama with these people with their abortion and who wants to do this, whatever the case may be. And that's something that I always try to, I believe at the end of the day, life is life, yes. However, in the final analysis, let God be the judge. So, people want to take, whether you're pro-abortion, whatever the case. That's not what I'm discussing. All I'm simply saying is that even with the intrauterine devices, you need to be very careful. So things like the copper T and all those type of things, you need to be careful, because remember, that is something foreign that you're putting into your body, and they have been known to cause things like ovarian cancer, cervical cancer, that type of thing. So just be careful, right? So the young lady who called there, what it is you need to do, what I will suggest is you up your water intake. First thing, your body weight divided by 2 ounces. Start drinking that type of water. Your home remedy, in the meantime, depending on how your pocket running, how your money running, you need to start to drink hot teas. No milk, no sugar inside of them. We do carry circulation tea at Batson and Associates. That's a very good tea. We have a cholesterol tea. That's a product that I've been bringing for years. A lot of clients like it because they had used it and got some really, really good results with it. From the home aspect, you could start to use ginger. You can use some turmeric, but you need to be very careful, because in your case, you cannot use the turmeric with the blood thinners that you have. All right? So you need to be very careful. So I would suggest you take like about a quarter of, when I say a quarter, we're talking about an inch, right? So if you're able to see, imagine like an inch of turmeric, an inch of ginger, you grate both of them, you steep it in about 16 ounces of hot water, and you leave it there, and you have it. Maybe you could drink 8 ounces, so it's 16 ounces, divide it and drink 1 glass in the morning, 1 glass in the evening. That's going to start to help you. Apart from that, the santulan that you have would also help you as well, because remember, santulan is a 7-channel detox. Santulan cleans and detoxifies kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. So it would help in that situation as well. You have to be very careful that TIA is also very worrisome as well, because you're realizing in your case, your circulation is poor in all areas. So the thing is, the circulation, your pulmonary circulation, which is circulation above your heart, is bad, and your circulation, your systemic circulation, which is below your heart, is also bad. So you need to be very careful with that. Right? Very carefully, very quickly, sorry. As regards to your husband, what you need to do in his case. Now, men, as we get older, your prostate will enlarge. That is going to happen. The issue is that we do not want it excessively enlarged. So, with men, what you need to do, pay very close attention to your water intake. That is also a serious problem. Vitamin D3 deficiency. Now, it's amazing that since after COVID, the world, or a lot of people in the world, have gotten to know about vitamin D3, and I'm so happy for that. If I tell you, I've been taking vitamin D3 for about 15 years. That's to tell you how long we have known about it, because once you do the type of medicine that I would have done, that's basic protocol in recommendations when you're dealing with different diseases in the body. So that is something that your husband need to get and start using at least 10,000 international units. There's a prostate tea that we carry at Batson and Associates. You can use that as well. And there's also a prostate formula. Now, one of the secrets of dealing with an enlarged prostate is ensuring that you fix your digestive system. And the reason for that is because a very unhealthy colon is what causes an unhealthy prostate. And same thing with women, with things like polycystic ovaries, fibroids, ovarian cysts, endometriosis. It is seriously linked to leaky gut, a lot of pathogens, parasites. So you usually find men who like a lot of meat tend to have problems with the prostate. Men who are involved in jobs that involve a lot of chemicals. So things like if you're dealing with oil and gas, if you're dealing with agriculture, welding, auto mechanics, you're an auto body man, those type of things. You need to be very careful, because you are now exposed to carcinogens. What are carcinogens? Cancer-causing chemicals. And once you are exposed to those, they can cause serious problems with your prostate. I am not a big advocate of terazosin and those type of things. I really don't like it. I've been very honest. Simply because I find those things make you a woman, because you're giving me a medication to reduce my testosterone level. Really, that's the best solution that you could have come up to this problem that I have, really. Which is going to shrink my penis, one, and I'm gonna have problems. If you have a wife, you're in real trouble. In this particular case, the young lady who called. So you don't want your husband to be going through that, my dear. So get him to start no cold water, stop the cold water, meat, out of the meat, take it out, chicken, beef, pork, everybody, fish alone for a little while, and more vegetables, more greens. Get some greens in the diet, some flaxseed, which we know is linseed. Linseed is actually very good for male health, sexual reproductive health, as well as female sexual reproductive health. Very, very good. So that's something you need to include in the diet. And in your case, you could actually use that to help with the cholesterol. You're on too much of medication. I'm telling you, I've not seen you, but just based on what you told me, because you mentioned tuinalprin, you talk about nifedipine, you talk about rovastatin, which is a statin, and Vastarel. They'll have you on some others. Then you have the warfarin, and that's too much of medication. Now, I'm not saying not to take your medication. Understand clearly and emphatically what it is I'm saying. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is you need to pay close attention to yourself. You're not taking care of yourself. So you could do a little better in that regard. Get a good omega. Keep in mind when you're looking at omega, there are some brands that we carry. We have the krill omega with astaxanthin. That's one of my favorite products. I like it because it helps with circulation. We also have an advanced omega as well. But omega is something that you need to have a lot of in your diet. There's also a product that we carry called Optimizer. Very good for circulation, the balanced circulation T. So you need to work on your circulation. That is one of the things you need to deal with. And we have to you have a lot of toxins in the body. You need to drink more water, which is why you're getting that elevation of blood pressure to something over 1 something. You need to be very careful because God forbid, you could end up with a serious stroke, and you don't want that because you're going to be in some problems. All right? So those telephone numbers again quickly before I go back to Dion. For the Shogunas office, that number is 222-8261. That's 222-8261. That Shogunas office is located on the first floor of Money Talks building. That is Money Talks building in Montrose, Shogunas. For the Debe office, that office is located corner of Ramsey Trace and the Essex Erin Main Road in Debe. That telephone number is 223-7515. That's 223-7515. St. James is Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James. That telephone number is 220-8113. That's 220-8113. And for the Tobago office, that is the Triangle Building in Scarborough. That number is 226-4553. Again, 226-4553. Back to you, Dion.
All right, so we're going to take one more call, and then we have a few WhatsApp messages. So we want to get in those WhatsApp messages. So you can give us a call now, and then we're going to go back. We'll take one final call, and then we're going to go back to the WhatsApp messages. All right. So let's see who's there. 624-772-9657. All right. So we have one call. Hello. Good morning. Welcome, Dr.Batson. One morning. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Can you just lower your radio for us, please, sir? We just want to make sure we hear what you're saying.
Right.
Okay.
Dr. Batson.
Yes, sir.
Just trigger this way. He comes from Paris here.
Yes, sir.
I do a body alignment and stuff.
Nice.
Flat foot, but heels on the floor.
Right.
Your nipple, knee, and big toe in one vertical line.
Right.
Proper form.
Mm-hmm.
Right down on the floor.
Right.
Down with the heels on the floor.
Right.
As we say, after grass.
Good.
And you could use like about 40 pounds inside of the chest cavity.
Right.
And go right down with it. Keep the knees, don't open the knees, keep the knees, maintain your form.
Right.
And after about 20 or 30 squats, that will go, because what you're doing is to release diaphragm via the psoas.
Right. Okay, good.
That's when I clear it.
Okay, good. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very, very much.
All right, so Dr. Batson, you want to go ahead with the squats? Answer some of the questions for you in the meantime.
Definitely, Dion. Definitely.
Well, you're getting a lot of information. I think someone has said here, thank you so much to the gentleman who just called. Someone also said to put your hands up in the air like this and take some deep breaths. That really helps them. But I'm thinking that a lot of the different suggestions that is given is based on what caused the hiccups in the first place.
but the gentleman, and you notice the work that he's in. He said he does what, so because I know it was what they call it medically is called pleurisy of the diaphragm, which is something that I never had, but I knew that there was a particular day I went to the gym, and I don't usually eat and train. I would normally work out. I normally work out on an empty stomach, especially when I'm doing legs. But I normally work out early in the morning. But there was this day in particular, I went to the gym in the night, and I had eaten like maybe about an hour and a half, 2 hours. But I worked legs, and I was very uncomfortable while I was doing the workout. Well, I wasn't like totally uncomfortable, but there was some level of discomfort because I custom working out on an empty stomach, especially when I'm doing those type of exercises. And then I went and I worked abs. And I did those kicks where you would hang and you would raise up your legs. So I believe that is what caused the diaphragm to become slightly shifted or inflamed or something like that. Yeah. Because the thing is, when I did, there's a stretch that you would do where you would lie and you would bring your legs all the way up to your chest. And whenever I do that, it would stop for like a few hours and then it would start back. So then I basically what the gentleman was saying. So that's why I said maybe I just need to go to my chiropractor, who I would usually go by like maybe every 6 months or every 3 months. I called him already and he said, well, Batson, you know what? Because the thing is, I cannot do the physical maneuver on myself. There are certain massages that you can do. There are a number of things you can do. You can actually massage the palm of your hand. There's this part of you could do just below your pulse. There are a number of things that you could do. But I did all of those and it didn't work. So I just believe because of the vagus nerve, I just need somebody to do it. But what that gentleman told me sounds pretty reasonable because I was actually looking at something like that as well too. So I'm going to try that as well too. But I know before the end of the day, I'm going to have this because I don't want to come here next week and be hiccuping for you all because they're having a good time, man.
Yeah. What kind of thing I see here? Let me see here. Good morning, Doc. Can you please tell us a home remedy for a kidney cleanse and a liver cleanse?
When you're looking at home remedies, there was the one with the raisin, which is my favorite for the liver. I like that a lot. Where you'll take like a cup of raisins. Now, with raisins, you know, you need to wash the people raisins, right, Olia? So you make sure and wash out your raisins nice. You take a cup of raisins, you put it in something, either Pyrex or stainless steel or whatever the case may be. And you take enough water, hot water, boil the water, and take the water to cover the raisins. So you throw boiling water on the raisins and you leave it overnight. So you leave it for like 8 hours. After the 8 hours, you throw the entire contents in the bowl and you throw it in an osterizer. And you take a cup of olive oil and throw it inside of that. You blend those together, like blend it. You put it in a glass bottle and you keep that in your refrigerator. What you do, you put it in hot water, like tea. You take 2 tablespoons in a cup of hot water and you drink that every morning. That's very good for your liver. For kidney, you find things like, what could you use? Boy, there's a favorite I have. You could actually use that same one for the kidneys. The only difference is what you're doing. You're getting garlic and you're taking like about a head of garlic. So a whole head of garlic, you peel it and you throw that inside of the osterizer with the olive oil and the raisins. You could also know there's something called, do we get that here, boy? I think we get that here. There's something they call radish. Now, that's actually a very, very good product because what that does, the horseradish, it actually has the ability to clean the arteries, veins, and that kind of thing. It's very good for the circulatory system. So if you put some of that in it, like maybe about a 3-inch piece, and you blend all of that together, and you keep that in the refrigerator, and you drink it 2 tablespoons in a cup of hot water every morning. Let me tell you something. Do not underestimate the power of hot beverages, especially first thing in the morning. That's the reason why the Asian world have so much. That's why they're so healthy. And that's generations of health because of the practices passed down from generation to generation. There is no mystery why the Western world is sick. And that's why I was saying that at the genesis of the program, that you have to take into consideration your lifestyle as it relates to the disease issues that you have. You have to do that. Have to. Anytime you don't do that and you're not willing to change, what you're doing, you're spinning top in mud. You're not making any sense. You're not going anywhere. So always remember that. Back to you, Dion.
Okay, so someone is asking here, as you're on the topic of cleansing. Someone says, good morning. Well, good morning all. Dr. Batson, I had the privilege of getting a live blood reading done. It showed that there was clumping of the red blood cells and the blood was moving a bit sluggish. By any chance, could this have anything to do with COVID? I was also both vaccinated and had COVID. Also, recently, my tendons or ligaments of my ankle and knees snap really loudly when I awake in the morning.
Okay. Well, the thing is, if your blood is seeing and the blood is clogged up, it's stick up together. That's not a good thing, eh? I mean, one of the things you lose is oxygen exchange. The reason why our red blood cells are concave and not flat is for oxygen exchange, what is known as surface area to volume ratio. So in a case like that, it could be attributed to COVID. I mean, COVID, which we do not know everything about, simply because of the short period of time that we have been exposed to COVID. What we do know, like all pathogens, COVID is a virus. And like all viruses, they have the ability to significantly damage the body in the sense that they can damage all systems, organ systems, especially central nervous system. COVID is notorious for lung problems. I always tell persons, if you know you had COVID, make sure and take extra care of your lungs, because COVID has the ability to cause serious damage to the lungs, scarring, and later on you could end up with things like pneumonia, tuberculosis, and those two things are very problematic. Now the doctors try their best. I believe sometimes with COVID, too much antibiotics is not a good thing, because that would further cause problems to your entire immune system, and that's the system that you really need. So I'm not criticizing what the doctors do. I just think in some cases, because I have dealt with some individuals, and I believe that I found that the antibiotics was too much, and the antibiotics were too strong. So I believe, that could have contributed to worsening the situation. But those persons are much better now. We have corrected certain things. So one of the things we carry at Batson and Associates, me being a great advocate of tea, is long tea. I know we had gotten this time, I think what we had is finished, but I know we'll be getting a next set, because we got circulation and a whole other host stuff, but we have some new ones coming in this week here. So that's something to pay very close attention to. And, once you do that, you don't have a problem. But you need to be on your P's and Q's where that is concerned. Get a vitamin D3. In fact, we have some. I brought in some, and we're going to get some more again, because I found I wasn't getting it. So I needed to address that situation. And as I said, with D3, you're using anywhere between 10,000, 15,000 international units. A lot of persons with D3 get worried and say, oh my God, maybe I'm using too much. Just yesterday I was reading an article where they were showing D3 deficiency as it relates to Alzheimer's. So look at that. Vascular dementia, they proved that because of D3 deficiency, when they looked at, when they did a clinical study, what they realized is that persons who were deficient in D3 had serious issues with a number of problems. And that's something that we have seen for a number of years now, even with zinc deficiency. And now people are like, oh, I'm so worried. If I'm taking too much of zinc, you're not going to take the whole bottle. If you take 50 milligrams, some people find 50 milligrams is too much. I don't have an issue with 50 milligrams. You know what we dealing? We live in a different world now. We have all sorts of things. You know how nasty this air is? The air has COVID, it has monkeypox, it has everybody. Chikungunya, brother, sister. And the thing is, with pathogens, when these things mix in the atmosphere, watch me, you ain't no way getting. You ain't no way getting. It's not to say you put bake to make and you get bacon. You might throw flour, egg, everything inside of there, and then you don't know it yet. You might get a cake, you might get sweet bread. So my thing is, make sure your immune system proper, so that regardless of what comes into you, you'll be able to deal with it. And that is something that a lot of people don't understand. So you listen to me and take my advice. Go and get your zinc. Take your zinc. If the people's zinc come in 50 milligrams, take the 50 milligrams. You would not die. Zinc cannot kill you unless you're going to take the whole bottle. Your vitamin D3, you're looking at anything between 10,000 to 15,000 IUs. You do that every day. Now, listen carefully to what I'm saying to you. If you know you're a little serious as it relates to kidney and certain diseases and you want some advice, call my office or come and see us. because that may not apply to everyone. But in the general sense, anybody could use that. Do not sit down and be like a sitting duck waiting for things to pick you off for COVID to get this and pneumonia and monkeypox and all. Because you know, every week we have something. Wait, what are we in? June? By December, they go find something. Might have some scorpion sickness or some monkey might breed with somebody and make something. You know, they always have something. So an ounce of prevention better than a pound that cures, my wise great-grandmother used to say. So mind your business. Take your thing, boost up your immune system. Yes, Dion, back to you.
All right, so someone is asking here, hi, good morning, Dr. Batson. I would like to know what can be used for facial hair on a woman or female teenagers, and what can be taken to terminate such an issue, this problem.
Well, the thing is, if a female is seeing facial hair, it means she has a problem with hormones. She has too much testosterone, some level of imbalance in estrogen, that type of thing. So her problem is hormonal imbalance. But the problem before that is an endocrine problem. So she has some problem with thyroid, parathyroid, pituitary, that type of thing. And then we need to look at the digestive system. So again, not to criticize anyone, but you know, these young ladies, they don't like fruits, they don't like vegetables, they don't like water. Listen to me. God know why, you know. I had to strangle some children because I can't be getting your food eater and telling me you don't like that. But they have to watch what they eat. And young people now, take what I'm telling you, they eat very badly. So that's the first thing she needs to correct. I don't live in the house, I don't know the person, but I guarantee the diet wants some work. Look at dehydration. And once they start to do that, what she's going to have to get female balance, a woman's formula. And once you balance the hormones, you don't have a problem. But the diet, the hydration is fundamental. Always remember that. Yes, sir.
Someone is asking here, Dr. Batson, good morning. How do you know when your body is lacking calcium?
A number of things. Usually, I think one of the easiest ways is your fingernails. When you see those, they look like streaks on your fingernails. That's one way. Problems with your teeth. If you start losing teeth, we know with pregnancy, women tend to lose minerals, calcium, magnesium. You have the alkaline and minerals in the human body is primarily calcium, magnesium. Your bones are calcium, magnesium, and phosphorus in the form of calcium phosphate. So usually with excessive acid situations, your thyroid is the gland that is control how much calcium leaves your bones to go into your bloodstream. So if you have problems with thyroid, pay attention to your calcium. Your bones, if you have problems, very weak bones, you know, you might do a bone density scan and the doctor may have told you that your bones, you're developing osteoporosis, big sign of calcium deficiency. However, what we have come to realize, especially with recent times, the last 10 years, is they realize
what are some of the risk factors that are involved?
okay, I think somebody said we having some problem. Oh, Shaki fixed it there. All right. Yeah, you could live with an enlarged heart, man. Let me tell you something. The heart is one of the most resilient organs in the body, you know. You see your heart, your liver, heart, liver. Your brain could take some licks too. The organ you have to worry about is your kidneys. Your kidney is the most unforgiving organ in the body. You see your kidney and your eyes? Don't play with them, fellas. Don't play with them at all. Woman, your womb, that's an organ, don't forgive you. But heart, if you have a slightly enlarged heart, you have heart murmur and those type of things, our heart is an easy organ to fix. Easy. What does cause problems? The next organ you don't like to give trouble, that is an unforgiving organ, is your lungs. You see your lungs? Trouble. Real trouble. Especially when you develop things like COPD and that kind of things. Because you remember your lungs play a significant role in what? Oxygen, carbon dioxide. It plays a significant role as it relates to what? Circulation. So COPD is a disease that we find a lot of persons getting. Listen to, when you have COPD, Dion, you cannot walk 10 feet without sitting down. You know? You cannot breathe. You know? So you see your lungs and your kidneys, Trinidad and Tobago, take care of them fellas. And their fellas and though they're very unforgiving. They say, yeah, what you do, man? I ain't business. Your heart, he go fight with you. Your liver, big. I always tell people, when you see people have cirrhosis, so the liver and liver disease and thing, watch me, the real play the fool. Or they work in serious chemicals. They may have been jewelers, hairdressers, and that is why I always appeal to people who are involved in dealing with a lot of chemicals. Pay attention to yourself. Get a little alkagen water. Get a little Santulan. Listen to me, Santulan ain't no kind of money. No kind of money for a pack of Santulan. All you know me, I don't call price on the radio. But a Santulan ain't no kind of money. An ounce of prevention better than a pound of cure. You have to start with something, and the thing is, what you need to do. Let me make this point. You don't want to start big and fancy, you know, everybody. And this is the lovely lady who called. Let me go back to you. This is the lady who was talking about herself with the DVT, and she talked about her husband, and she said, you know, we getting certain things in place. Let me tell you something. In life, anything you have to start, the longest journey to start with the first step. Do a little bit of something, because everybody just think, well, okay, I'm going to go and I'm going to do this and I want to pass out this money and I'm going to do it. And listen to me, if you continue thinking like that, you will never start. Start little. The best way to start drinking more water. Start with exercise. 15 minutes a day. You don't have no fancy bike home. You don't have no fancy treadmill. You just make sure and put on a proper shoes. I am big on shoes because you don't want anything and end up with shin splint and damage your foot and all kind of thing. Especially if you know you might be a tanty or uncle, right? You know, and respect to the tanties and the uncles, because tanty and uncles was once young before. You see, right now I want to be an uncle with this gray beard here. So make sure you get your good shoes and take a little walk in the yard. Well, we know rain falling and thing. Don't want to walk on no moss. Make sure and power wash your yard, clean up the yard, or walk in your house. That's exercise. You have stairs in your house, well, man, better fit. Walk up and down the stairs, 15 minutes. And you start doing that. If it is you know you're a heart patient, once a week. You know you have diabetes, twice a week. You have hypertension, 3 times a week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And you start doing that. Start drinking a little hot tea. And piece by piece, don't feel, you have to sum all your feelings. I said that big thing, you have to think and have to throw away all the food. Open the cupboard and watch the cupboard good, honestly. Open your fridge, watch it good. Because as I always tell them, you see in the night, it have food jumbie, you know. It is have food jumbie. And them fellas and them just call you. So don't have ice cream and sweet drink and thing in your fridge. Don't have it, don't buy it. You can imagine you get up 2 o'clock in the morning, you get up to go and pee. And which part you have to pass, because you might have bathroom in your bedroom, but you know you might want some water to drink now. And you might go for the water, and by the time you go for the water and you open the fridge, a cake might be watching you. Or you might have a soft drink there. Or you might have something that you're not supposed to have. So don't put it. And that's why I tell people, don't buy certain things. That's like me and fudge. I don't buy fudge. I went to Bago the other day. If you see, I crossed the fudge lady calling me. I crossed on the next side of the airport. I want to know, what you calling me for? I don't want no fudge. Because if I buy him and I buy that fudge there, I'm telling you, the fudge is going to finish. I will sit down and eat all the fudge. So I'm not going to buy it. Or if I buy it, I buy one little piece. So that's why you have to do discipline yourself. It has some all you know, all you cannot see ice cream. Do you use one of them?
No, at all.
Watch me. I know it. Watch me. I have an ex day. Jesus Christ. I feel she would, if she get a chance to watch me, they will eat all the ice cream and Trinidad.
The fudge, I might have a problem with the fudge, but no, not ice cream at all.
Yes, and that's what I tell you. In the night is when the critters this call you. So make sure and you know, keep your day.
That's a very good idea.
Be proactive, yeah.
Proactive.
Yeah. When you open the fridge, bite a head of lettuce.
Or grab and run. Just grab and run and close that door once.
You understand?
Someone is asking here, Dr. Batson, pleasant good morning to all. I'm a 35-year-old female. My vitals read blood pressure 118/84, blood sugar 97, BMI 25. Is that 25.3, I believe. However, my right foot is swollen and can barely fit into footwear. No pain at all. And so they're asking what can they do or what can they buy to deal with this issue?
I would use the circulation tea. Your vitals are good. That's excellent. I think they said the pressure was 118/84. The blood sugar was 97. And yeah, you hear me there?
Yeah, now I hear you.
Oh, good. Yeah. So I'm saying the vitals are good. But a lot of people get swelling. And let me tell you what swelling is an indication of. Swelling, especially in your ankles, your instep, is usually an indication of poor circulation. Now, sometimes the circulation is so bad that you might need some sort of physical manipulation. So like you see the gentleman who called just now and gave me the advice, you might need to go to somebody like that. Because what may happen, it may mean that some sort of nerve, some part of the spinal column may be pressing on something that is causing a circulation problem. One of the most common factors where that is concerned is something known as what? Sciatica. Sciatica is a big problem. Millions of people all over the world have sciatica. And all it is that sciatic nerve being pinched or compressed by the spinal column. And as a result of that, that pain or that discomfort, that poor circulation, radiates to the left side usually of the legs. So whenever you're getting swelling, is an indication that circulation needs to be paid attention to. In some cases, kidney, but most of the time, it is poor circulation. So I would recommend you use the circulation tea. There's something we have called balanced circulation tea. Circulation, that works very good. And once you start using those, you should see some improvement in that situation.
Someone is asking here as well, Dr. Batson, I am messaging on behalf of a 70-year plus woman. The issue is that she has not had a proper bowel movement for several days. If there is any, it is liquid or oily. In the past, this individual has done frequent purgings, gone through frequent purging. This request is what would you recommend that you can use or do?
Okay, so let me see if I can get it. They were saying that they did cleanses before, and they're seeing what exactly they said is.
They're saying that that if she has a bowel movement, it is either very liquid or oily, and they said she have been doing frequent purging over the years. But I think the issue that she's having is that she has not had a proper bowel movement in several days, and if she does, it's very liquid and oily.
Okay, that sounds strange. That sounds like something to do with bile, the bile duct gallbladder. The thing is, if you find usually when stool is very diarrheic and it's not as a result of something that you eat, some sort of food poisoning or some bug or something like that, is usually some early signs of inflammatory bowel conditions, which could be things like Crohn's irritable bowel syndrome, diverticulitis. The oil situation have me kind of a little thing, but usually when you see mucus, blood, things looking like oily discharge in the stool is usually a situation with your gallbladder. So I believe that person needs a cleanse overall. I don't know how strong the individual is in terms of you know, energy levels and that type of thing. Once they do not have a problem with low blood count, what I would suggest they do is start the alkagen water and start using hot teas throughout the day. So if you could have like maybe 3 cups of hot tea, 8-ounce cups, like anywhere in the vicinity of maybe 5 in the morning, go straight up to about 5 p.m. What that would do is start to stimulate the lymphatic system and start to get things gradually out of the body. But definitely there's a cause for concern, and it's something that you need to pay close attention to. So as I said, up the water intake, start using teas. There's a tea we carry at Batson Associates, which is a liver tea. That's going to give you some help there. There's also one that we have called Gastro, which is very good for the digestive system. That will give you some help there as well. And you go from there.
All right. Let's see who's there. Hello, good morning, welcome.
Hey, good morning, Dion.
Yes, man. Good morning, man.
Good morning, Dr. Batson. How are you doing?
Good morning, Sam. Fine, and yourself?
Right, Dr. Batson, I am a glaucoma patient, 62 years old.
Right.
I visited Ocular. Do you hear me?
Yeah, yes, sir, I'm hearing you.
Right, so I visited the office sometime before the COVID strike.
Right.
And you had put me on the eye optic formula.
Yes, sir.
Right, so I am using that. I'm still using it. There was a period of time where I wasn't able to get it, you know, but I started back probably about 2 months ago on the second bottle again.
Okay.
So I was experiencing like some dark spells. I was seeing dark, like more on the peripheral vision that I was getting the dark. And something that, you know, I experienced before then. Like sometimes I may go into the bushes and because I'm in the country area, and
right.
I'm in the bush, and I was experiencing when I'm in the bush. You know, I do wear glasses. Somebody wear the glasses.
Right.
And I was like a couple of weeks ago. I know you earlier mentioned something pertaining to glaucoma. I didn't get it clear, and I was just trying to figure out what did you mention about the glaucoma.
Okay, so
suggestions you would have for my situation right now.
Okay, well, before you go, let me answer me quickly. When was the last time you tested the ocular pressure in the eyes, and how much was it?
So I did a vision test recently, like about a month or so ago.
Right.
I remember it. And actually, I did a field test like 2-3 weeks ago.
Right.
The first one I did it like in the afternoon time, and I failed the field test, and I went back the morning after and do it over, and it was okay.
Right.
Since I can't recall currently, I have the results with me.
Oh, with the pressure. Okay. Well, what you need to pay attention to going forward, even if you just have to visit, you know, maybe once a month or whatever the case may be, you want to know what the ocular pressure is, and that's very easy to test it. That don't even take a minute to check, right? Because that is what is important. The ocular pressure in the eyes could be in the vicinity of 10 to 15, maybe 10 to 18 in the left and the right eye. When you start going beyond 18, then it becomes very problematic, right? So you can listen to these suggestions of I'll make some recommendations as regards to that, and you know, we could go from there.
Okay, good. That's one.
You're welcome, sir. Yeah, so it's for the benefit of the listeners as well. So we know what glaucoma is, right? Glaucoma is high ocular pressure in the eyes. Now, the thing with glaucoma is that, as I said, you could range anywhere between 10 to 18 right eye, 10 to 18 in the left eye. In some cases, 9. You don't want to go lower than 9 because the ocular pressure in the eyes, remember your eyes is primarily what? Water, right? So it has to have a specific pressure. So the thing is, you don't want the pressure too low because the eye, your eyeball, in layman terms, will basically collapse, right? Now, high ocular pressure is usually a consequence of dehydration plays a significant role in that. You also need to pay very close attention to blood circulation to the brain. I think that is the most important and crucial component of glaucoma. Of all the glaucoma patients that we were able to help, once we gave them things to improve the circulation in the brain, they all got better readings, which is why the eye optics formula is usually recommended for that, because the eye optics formula is basically a cleanser for the eyes. So that's something that you need to pay very close attention to. There's one we use called MSM, which I like because in the rare instance that someone has an allergic reaction to the eye optics formula, which is usually rare, like maybe 1 in every 10,000 or 100,000 people, since we have been bringing that eye drop for the past 10 years, I may have had 5 people who had allergic reactions to it. That's the eye optics formula. So the MSM, I would usually use MSM and eye optics formula with someone who has really bad glaucoma. And then, of course, we have the one for cataract, really bad cataract, even though the eye optics formula can help with cataracts. So that's something you need to pay attention to. As regards to your fruits, you need to include some fruits and vegetables, your orange-colored fruits and vegetables. That always helps with your eyes, especially glaucoma as well. As I said, your hydration is very important. So you want to consume your body weight divided by 2 in ounces. There's an IT we carry at Batson & Associates, very good as well, because what that does, it improves circulation in the cerebral hemisphere. That together with Optimizer. Optimizer was actually bought. I started doing that product because I wanted that product to help persons with eyes and vertigo and tinnitus and that type of thing. Because one of the things Optimizer does is actually helps to improve blood circulation to the brain. So keep in mind that once you have proper blood circulation in the brain, you have proper oxygen exchange, and that helps in improving your eyesight with any type of eye problem, whether it be glaucoma, cataract, detached retina, that type of thing. So in your instance, what you also need to do, the first 5 vitamins, vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin C, D, and E. Those vitamins you need for proper eye health. So you need to get those as well. Okay?
Someone is asking here, Dr. Batson, okay, let me just, okay, yeah, let me ask this question. Somebody is asking here, Dr. Batson, is it safe to use contact lens? Is it safe to use the eye optics formula while having a contact lens?
No, I would recommend you remove it. No, you have to remove it. You should not use any eye drops with contact lenses in the eyes. You shouldn't. Remove your lenses and you do your protocol. So you could do the eye drops in the morning before you put in your lenses, or you do them at night. In fact, at night would be better when you remove the lenses and you do whatever your routine, and then you put the eye drops in. But no eye drop, none, should ever be put in your eyes with contact lenses.
Okay, and it's not a problem if you're using the eye optics formula.
Right.
It's not a problem using a contact lens. What about
it's not a problem.
A cosmetic contact lens? It doesn't matter.
Well, the thing is, cosmetic in terms of non-tested contact lenses. Well, yeah. No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But what I'll tell you, I would advise: be careful with those. Cosmetic contact lenses could cause some serious problems. So
damage to the eyes.
Yeah, be careful. Let me just answer a question quickly. There's a young lady who's asking as regards to if you can use Santulan while breastfeeding, and the answer is yes. Just make sure and drink a lot of water, and you don't have a problem. You don't have a problem with that. So you can use Santulan while breastfeeding.
Okay. Let's see who's there. Hello, good morning. Welcome. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Could you just lower your radio for us? Listen to us on the phone. Hello? All right, so we lost that one. Let's just ask this question. Dr. Batson, what causes sciatica? And as a diabetic, how can I avoid glaucoma surgery? I have already lost vision in my right eye.
Okay, so what's the first question, sorry?
What causes sciatica? And as a diabetic, how can I avoid glaucoma
surgery? Okay, sciatica, as I said, sciatica is basically some level of compression of the sciatic nerve. Your sciatic nerve is located, where is that, boy? That is in the lumbar region, boy, or your thoracic. Is somewhere between the thoracic and the lumbar vertebrae. Now, the thing is, when there is compression Okay, so the way your spine is designed, your spine is multifaceted in the sense that it has the vertebrae, and between the vertebrae you have like a sort of jelly and a cushion and jelly, and then you have some nerves running in between there. What happens to us is we have normal, what they call normal lumbar lordosis, which is where you lose that stability of the spine. Now, there are things that could help you to maintain that. Exercise, proper supplementation. The problem is a lot of people do not know about proper supplementation as it relates to the musculoskeletal system. Now, I have told persons this on numerous occasions. CMOS is very good for the musculoskeletal system. Very, very good. What we may need to do, depending on how bad your sciatica is, we will have to fix some things like herniated disc and that kind of thing. And all those things, regardless of what they are called, is some level of inflammation in the spinal column. So once you correct that inflammation in the spine by the sciatic nerve, you'll actually be able to get serious improvement with sciatica. There are also certain maneuvers that you can do, stretching and breathing, that can actually help. And those things help your body overall. You know, so that's some of the things that you could actually introduce to correct that situation. As regards to the situation with glaucoma and being a diabetic, what you want to do is manage your blood sugar properly. Try not to be dependent on insulin. If you are diabetic who's using insulin, try your utmost and see if you could get diet. In there, a lot of vegetables, more greens in the diet, more whole grains, less processed food, so that you can naturally bring down your blood sugar readings. Because once you have elevated blood sugar readings, your eyes tend to get damaged very quickly. So that's one of the ways I would recommend a preventative eye drop. I've had persons using eye optics formula as preventative, and they've gotten very good results as diabetic, where their eyesight did not regress. It didn't get worse. You know, it was maintained. In some cases, it actually got better. Okay? So that's something to pay attention. Let me just take a quick look at our live. Remember, we are live on Facebook. We are Batson and Associates Limited on Facebook. On Instagram, we are Batson and Associates TT. And on YouTube, we are Batson and Associates Trinidad. Someone is asking, if I have the MSM and the eye optics formula, which eye drop do I use first? Usually, in that particular instance, you use the MSM first. So MSM is used 15 minutes before the eye optics. And it's usually you shake it up 2 drops in the eye, and then 15 minutes after you use 2 drops of the eye optics formula, and you wouldn't have any problems there. Very quickly, those telephone numbers for the Shoguna's office, that number is 222-8261. That's 222-8261. For Debe, that Debe, the number is 223-7515. That's 223-7515. St. James is 220-8113. That's 220-8113. And Tobago is 223-4553. That's 226-4553. Back to you, Mr. Dion, sir.
All right, so time is flowing, so I'm just going to try our best and kind of get through some of these messages. Let me take this call. Hello, good morning, welcome.
Good morning, Dion.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, Dr. Batson.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Everything good. But what happened yesterday, I was home. I came home last night.
Right.
I got come home, like when I started the day, when I come home at night, and I wash my face with warm water, because I hear Dr. years ago say that was clear up the dust from the eyes.
Right.
When I was in the hospital, I wash my face, and I wipe my face and stuff. Not hot water, it's warm, right? And I find my right eye was itching me. But I rinse it again because I don't know some soap getting less, so I rinse it again.
Mm-hmm.
But this morning I get a fine right eye, bloodshot now. It's red.
Uh-huh.
And in my eye, in my mindful state,
Right.
And when I look at it now, I really see it's red. It's well bloodshot. So I don't know what remedy I can do.
You have any of the circulation tea? You have any of the circulation tea? What do you have remaining from us?
There's no alarm. See, but I use a table stuff. All you have is the sample. I said I packed it by the boy. And when I went down last week by your place in the way, and I get my alcohol water as usual.
Right. Okay. But I would say get some of the IT. Drink some hot teas. You must be able to have a piece of ginger home there. Take like about an inch of ginger, you grate it in some hot water, about anywhere between 8 to 12 ounces of water, and drink it. Yeah, but watch it, observe it, because you possibly, but you didn't bounce yourself, you didn't hit yourself, you didn't run in the door. You're showing your wife some.
It wasn't even no trouble, I wasn't itching or nothing, and I didn't rub it. But this morning, it's only a while ago when I wake up there, the guy said, I read when I look at blood shot there, the right side now. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't get a call as the eyes now.
What you could do is get your warm water. Now don't warm the water to burn you, right? And just wash the eyes, especially the right, with a little warm water. What you could also do, you get a towel, do like a warm compress, and put it on the side of the face of the eye that giving the problem, and observe it. That's supposed to help to improve the blood circulation. Drink a lot of water and observe it and see. But if it remains like that, then you need to go and check a doctor, because because a lot of the times. Okay, well, I would say so. So you could do those things. Well, as I said, do those things. So do the warm compress, wash the eyes, and observe it, because it could be a mild infection. You think it's something when you're sleeping, you just rub your eyes and you don't know, A lot of the times we touch our eyes in our sleep and we're not aware of it.
Yeah, no problem.
All right?
Dr. Batson.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Good morning, Dr. Batson.
Good morning, my dear. How are you doing?
I'm home. I'm not home. Yeah. Along with Mr. Green. Yeah, morning.
Just about
what I would like to know, remember, there was something that you gave me, like Horseradish with silver.
Right.
And it was I just finished. I didn't really finish it. It was plenty, and I give it to some a close relative of mine.
Right.
What happened is when they taken it, when they taken it, it was like, they noticed like something coming out in their mouth now. I thought if I keep taking it, maybe it made up something. I got my suggestion. I don't know if I'm right or if I'm positive. I just like it to, what is your idea, please?
Okay, good, no problem. You can listen off the I'll make a recommendation. Well, the thing with silver is one of the most potent, natural antibiotics. The silver we carry is basically silver, so it's usually specific parts per million. So that one we have is anywhere between 20. There was one that we had was 50 parts per million. The research was actually done on 10 parts per million, which was less. So obviously with 25 parts per million, 50 parts per million, you'll get a lot of benefit. The possibility exists. The person could be getting some healing crisis, which means they're not accustomed drinking sufficient water. Now, always keep in mind that if it is you have toxins, which most of us have in our bodies, if you haven't taken a detox in a while, if you do not drink sufficient amounts of water, you need to be careful the type of products that you use. A simple thing like a vitamin C could make you sick. And it's not because the product isn't good, but simply because the body wasn't. It's like long ago when your parents was giving you, before they give you a purge, they used to give you a cooling. It was for that reason. Okay, so a lot of us need to do coolings before we do detox or before we go to use certain products. All right, so that's something you need to keep in mind. All right.
Okay, so Dr. Batson, we have a question here. It's a real, I think it's one of the more
serious.
Yeah, one. So, right. So this person is saying, yeah, thank you. This person is saying, good morning, Dr. Batson. I did an umbilical hernia surgery, and I still have in that area and swelling.
Right.
This person did this surgery last February.
Whoa. Okay.
They say they are also experiencing bloating and constipation. What do you suggest that they can do?
Well, what they need to do, I don't know what type of surgery you did. Usually for hernias, there's something that they could do called
Is it an umbilical?
Hernia. Umbilical hernia. Yeah, different type of hernias. Okay. But most of the time when they do hernia surgery, very rare they pull. The thing is because hernias are basically openings in the lining or the muscle wall itself, the abdominal muscle wall. So you have an opening. So the way your abs, this thing that they have called abs, is very important to have them. If you have them, say thank God, and if you can maintain them, try and maintain them, because what they do is that holds this entire aspect below the diaphragm together. Now, when you get hernias, it's the opening or the tearing of that muscle, which could now cause the intestines to start to come out. So what doctors usually do, or surgeons do, they do something where they put up a wire mesh inside. Now, the thing is, you all know me, I'm not the greatest fan of surgery unless it is absolutely necessary. And I mean, for somebody to put a wire mesh in you, this is mesh. This is a foreign object. Now, yes, it may be medically tested and whatever the case may be, hypoallergenic, so less thing. However, it is still something foreign. And a lot of the times, sometimes you can get infection or sometimes these things can actually kink or bend. So what I'll suggest for that individual is go back or call, I don't know if you did it in the public hospital or if it was private, but try and get a doctor to look at it or have some sort of scan done, whether it is an MRI or ultrasound, to see if that may have shifted and causing that problem. Because if you did that surgery since last year, February, it's over a year. You're not supposed to be getting any problems with that. So that is the suggestion. That's the first thing you need to do, to find out what is the integrity or the structural integrity of what has been put in as a result of the surgery. And, once you determine that first, then you would be able to get help. If you have hernias and you have not done surgery, castor oil is actually a very good thing for hernias, where you can actually massage with the castor oil, but lightly. Remember, when you have hernias, depending on how large the hernia is, you don't want to cause damage to it. But what the castor oil does is actually have to bring back the muscle. There are other oils that you could use. I can't remember them off the top of my head right now, but those help. There are certain tinctures as well that we use internally that can actually help to pull that muscle together, and then there are light exercises. Do not play with hernias. Hernias have the tendency to become very problematic, and the larger the hernia becomes, the more difficult it is, and the more extensive the surgery could be. So, if you're not in a situation where you have had surgery done for that and you can prevent it, try your best and do that. Okay?
Dr. Batson, we just have a few minutes.
So minutes remaining.
We will not be able to answer all of the questions, all right? But definitely I'll ask Dr. Batson to say the number slowly at the end so that you may get it, okay? Somebody's asking here, Dr. Batson, if someone's pressure was unreadable in the health center, was hospitalized for a few days, no stroke, no heart attack, but the inside of her body was shaking a lot. But the doctors don't know what caused the inside to shake. They said she has to go to a specialist to find out why the inside of her body was shaking. She is diabetic also and in her late 60s. What do you think can cause her insides to shake a lot while her pressure went high? Thank you.
Well, she could have had an anxiety attack. It is obvious that is a central nervous system reaction. That's your autonomic nervous system. Parasympathetic, sympathetic. I mean, I'm not trying to criticize anybody. I mean, that is high school biology to figure out that. I would pay attention to it. I don't know what your water intake is. Of course, hydration is everything. If you are diabetic and hypertensive, it means you would be on medication. So you need to be taking better care or taking care of yourself. If it's a female, which Dion, I think they mentioned that it's female, right?
Yeah.
The possibility exists it could be some level of PMS, anxiety caused by PMS. So I would recommend, you get the Alkagen water. The Nerve Restore is very good for dealing with that situation. The Optimizer and some of the circulation tea. Right? Someone is asking a question on Facebook quickly as regards to when we're getting Nerve Restore in St. James. St. James will have Nerve Restore by Tuesday, please God, they will get. And someone is also asking about products that breastfeeding mothers could use for good health. Optimizer is one. You can use Nerve Restore. You can use the Advanced Chlorophyll Inflammation Formula. A lot of the products that we have, you can use while breastfeeding and even during pregnancy, because one of the things that we do as well is actually help women with things like gestational diabetes and gestational hypertension, because we don't want you to having to use dangerous medication that could actually cause problems or harm to the baby. So we would prefer that you use more natural supplementation that would actually help better improve the diabetes and the gestational diabetes and the gestational hypertension. And you could always call and get further information where that is concerned. Okay? Yes, Dion.
Let me just touch on this. Let me just touch on these two last one as it relates to organs. And a voice note here before we close up. Let me see.
Good morning to Dr. Batson. Good morning, Dion. Question for Dr. Batson, please. I was diagnosed with stage 2 cancer last year. Surgery was done in March. In June, I was told that they found a piece was left back, so they want to go back into the body today. I told them I'm not interested in that, and they told me with chemo and radiation. I asked what was chemo all about, and they say it's like taking a blood test, and the chemo, the radiation is like an X-ray. Is that true? Because I have heard people talk about chemo and radiation, and they didn't mention anything like that. They say it's one of the worst things, but the way the doctor spoke about it like it was a walk in the park, I want to know if that is really true. Can you please tell me? Be honest, please. I don't want to say no, tell me what it's like, because I am thinking of going knowing. Understand? It's kind of scary because they talk to me a lot, and but there's about it. Can you please tell me and let me know, please, if peanuts with this problem is peanuts or peanut butter or bananas. If it causes my situation to be worse. Thank you. Good day. Bye. Rain is pouring.
All right. So let me see. How do I answer this question? Right. Okay. So whenever you're dealing with cancer, cancer will always continue to be the land of controversy. Cancer is the elephant in the room where medical health is concerned. So you always have the argument with people like myself and the medical doctors. So the medical doctors tell you, well, you could do chemotherapy, you could do radiation, there is no damage, there's no ting. I am the type of person, I always try to be very practical and thorough. Are there instances that I have seen with specific types of cancer where chemotherapy and radiation was necessary? Yes, I have seen that, and I'll be honest with it. However, I think most of the time is overkill, and that's my personal professional opinion, because the only people who do the same thing over and over expecting a different result is mad people. So you can't give me 10 sessions and one chemotherapy didn't work, and then you decide, well, okay, I'm going to give you a different one, and you hit me 10 and 10, and so we go in. You understand? I mean, when you understand the fundamentals of the human body and the fundamentals of what cancer really is, and cancer is basically an anomaly of the way cells normally divide themselves. That's basically what cancer is. Cancer is fundamentally a disease of the immune system. So once your immune system is functioning properly, you cannot, under any circumstances, get cancer. And that's something you could quote. That has been proven. Yes now. So As regards to, I mean, they already did surgery on you, they took out certain things. My thing is, if it was me in that position and they're telling me that they've seen a little bit of something there, read up on chemotherapy, you go and read it. The thing is, information is power. You read, and because that is a decision that I would never make for someone. Excuse me, and I always tell all my patients that whenever you're faced with cancer, chemotherapy and radiation, in the final analysis is the patient's choice. Me personally, I go in and boil my soursop. I take in methocoidon. I go in and get acai berry. I go in to get lateral, which is vitamin B17. I pull it out all these stops. If it's me personally, I will deal with it from a nutritional perspective. Meditation is very important. You have to have some level of spirituality when you're dealing with sickness. I don't care what anybody say. Because your human body, because once your mind saying death, you will die. If your mind say life, you will live. Always remember that. But you have to dot your I's and cross your T's as regards to your nutrition. Right? Nutrition will always be fundamental. Cancer doesn't like anything green. Plenty greens in your diet. You see soursop? The leaves itself, the fruit, you think, eat it. If you can eat the tree and all, eat it. This next thing, Coraili, sea moss. So you need to give your body ammunition to fight because it's a war you're in, you know. And that, my dear, is a personal decision that you have to make. I will never tell anybody not to do chemotherapy and radiation. I will be a madman to do that. I'll be looking for a lawsuit, and I'm not looking for that. But from the human aspect, me personally and the people that I have seen, for the years that I have seen them, give your body what your body needs, and your body will fight for you. And that's one of the things. Dion, I know we nearly we close the time, but let me just say something quickly.
Yeah, go ahead.
Your body, you know somebody, let me tell you something, You know they have these books, Microsoft for Dummies, Word for Dummies, that kind of thing. Almighty God, when he created mankind, he put in a switch inside of it for dummies, you know. And understand what I'm saying. You don't have to understand how your body is working. You know. You don't tell your heart to beat. You just wake up yourself in the morning. You just wake up in the morning. So in other words, you already have a whole proper system function in there. You know. All you need to do is give your body what your body needs. And that is spiritually, mentally, subconscious aspect, and your physical body. Eat properly, say your prayers, do your meditation, drink your water, and mind your business. And once you do that, you'll be healthy. When you're dealing with cancer, plenty soursop, plenty Coraili. It has something they call fucoidon. If you want it, I could get it for you. B17 lateral, you want it, I could get it for you. But you have to take care of yourself. You cannot eat any and all kind of meat. Take meat out of the diet completely. You don't want, you see that thing they call pork? Run from it. Don't watch it, don't talk to it. If it is a pig farm, we're driving, go and drive, pass on the next road. You want nothing to do with that. More fish, plenty vegetables, living food, provision, plenty sweet potato, dasheen, eddos. That's what you have to eat. And once you do that, take what I'm telling you, that cancer will tell you bye-bye, and them doctors will be looking under the bed, under the table, under the couch for cancer, and they wouldn't be able to find it. Because you know why? Most people, when you do chemotherapy and radiation, cancer comes back. You know it like to come back? In your lungs, in your pancreas, in your bones. And listen to me, when it come back there, if you think the first one was bad, the second one is be 100 times worse. I'm not telling you not to do your chemotherapy and radiation, no. Hear me? But you have to eat properly. These people just come out with this foolish notion and tell you when you have cancer, you can eat anything. Madness. Madness. Don't do yourself that. All right? Dion, back to you.
Just one last thing, Dr. Batson. Well, two last things. Just to share a little bit with the people. As someone asked a question, I saw that question recurring there. How do you said two of your main organs unforgiving, your kidney and your lungs. What do you do to really, if someone is at home and they really want to clean their kidneys, strengthen their lungs, strengthen their liver,
right.
What would you recommend? That's the first one. And the other thing is, just like you do, say the numbers a little slowly,
Right.
because someone is asking when again you would be in St. James. So I just want to send out this, take these numbers again. Right?
Okay, good. The thing is, you have to look at it like this. Always stack the odds in your favor. So, kidney, what your kidney like? Your kidney loves celery, parsley. We live in the modern world now. Everybody have a pasteurizer in the house. So once a week, twice a week, get some celery. You can get 2 stalks, the big celery. You get some parsley, you blend it up, and you drink it. You take a 4-ounce or 8-ounce glass. That's very good for your kidneys. You could do some search. Go on the internet, Google. After God is Google, it have a lot of things there. Pineapple is a very good thing as well. We have watermelon. Watermelon in season, all right? So you get some watermelon. And here we do it with your watermelon. Well, make sure you have proper working pasteurizer, because I ain't going to send all it to mash up. You know, like there's this gentleman, I tell the man to use the skin of the watermelon. He's going to mash up his wife blender. It's because his wife called me to tell me, Dr. Batson, you owe my blender. I said, but how I get in that? I just tell the man what to do and tell them to go and take this little blender you have and go and put a whole watermelon inside of the blender. So you might have to spend your money, get a proper ninja. It have proper thing out there. And you know, you do your blends. Where your liver is concerned, what your liver like? Your liver like things like thistle, ginger. Turmeric is very good. The only problem with turmeric, and you all need to pay attention, when you're using turmeric, you cannot use turmeric every day. You remember, turmeric is a blood thinner. If you are a female and you use turmeric too much, you could end up changing up your menstrual cycle and messing up yourself. So you need to be careful. The best thing, you get an inch of turmeric, you grate it, and you drink it in some hot water, anywhere between 8 to 12 ounces of hot water, and you can do that twice for the week. If you know you have a little circulation problem, you do it 3 times for the week. You can hit it on Monday, a Wednesday, a Friday. Make sure and drink plenty water. But do not go and do, I know people is going to blend a whole thing of turmeric. No, you will kill yourself. Know how to use the people thing, right? Vitamin C. If you're not taking a vitamin C now, it means you're living under a rock. You do not have a pulse. They need to check you. They need to do an autopsy. You have to use vitamin C. You know, we're looking at ascorbic acid. You're looking at anything between 1,000. I don't take no 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C. At least 2,000 milligrams of vitamins on a daily basis. If you're a diabetic, or again, free advice here, you're diabetic and you start doing that, I am telling you, in 2 months' time, you're going to see a difference in your blood sugar, you're going to see a difference in your skin. All that sort of black mark by your foot, look like you're wearing a socks, that's going to start to go, right? From Batson and Associates, you get some Alkagen water. Alkagen water is not $1 million a bottle. And I don't expect you to buy Alkagen water every day. If you buy once for the month, you do the Santulan, circulation tea is no kind of money for those teas that we bring there. It's to you to make an investment in yourself. And once you do that piece by piece, as I said, the longest journey to start with the first step. All right? With that being said, let me give you those telephone numbers slowly. So the telephone number for Shogunas number is 222-8261. That's 222-8261. The Debe number is 223-7515. That's 223-7515. St. James is 220-8113. That's 220-8113. I heard someone was asking, when next time in St. James? When I'm working in St. James, boy, I believe I have a makeup day for St. James on Tuesday, you know. So I'm supposed to be in St. James Tuesday and Friday of this week coming here. Right? So that St. James number is 220-8113. The Tobago number is 226-4553. That's 226-4553. So Shogunas is 222-8261. Debe is 223-7515. St. James is 220-8113. And Tobago is 226-4553. I should be in Tobago, God's willing, somewhere on the 3rd and the 4th, or the 4th and the 5th, somewhere around there. So I'm still accessible. Keep in mind, though, we have our consultants, Mr. Paul Green, Mr. Rene Bastamante, Ms. Karishma Ramdan, and of course, all the hardworking staff at Batson and Associates. I hope we continue to improve because there's always room for improvement. And, you know, we have a lot of persons. We're trying our best to deal with as much persons as possible, get you to get where you are. The answer is always a pleasure to be in your company.
Likewise, Dr. Batson.
Yes, to the listeners of Sky 99.5 on this very rainy Sunday morning. God bless. Remember, we're getting some bad weather this week. So, you know, say your prayers, drive slow, take your time. If you know you're living in a place where the water is get a little high, start to put your little bags and whatever you need to do, or put away your things in your house, whatever the case may be, because we're in for some rain for the next 5 days. So, as we always say at Batson and Associates, if you think health is expensive, try sickness. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. God bless you guys and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Take care of yourself.
Thank you so much, Dr. Batson. Again, Shaquille, have a great day today, man, on your birthday. I know you may be like 20, 23, Shaquille. Shaquille is young enough.
That's because he working Batson and Associates using the product.
Yes,
Shaquille is about 35. He just looking good.
Dr. Batson, make sure and go and see about yourself for that.
Yes, sir. The chiropractor is good to be seeing me today, so I have to see about that.
Yeah. You have a lot of short-term things that you can do. Remember, tread,
Yes,
thread. You know, remember, arms up.
Yeah, I want Honey Bay come and take all the thread out of the shirt. I don't know how she plans to do that.
Do the Spider-Man pose and make sure go.
The best is drinking the glass of water from the next way. That's the only one I didn't try that.
So let us know. So enjoy the rest of your day, man. God blessings.
You too.
Yeah, man. Listening to Sky 99.5 FM. You've just been listening to Dr. Batson of Batson and Associates. I'm just going to give you those. So,
Facebook family, as usual, is always a pleasure. We had a lot of questions today, but let's see what's going on with me and the sake up here. So I'm going to sort out myself. God bless you guys. Until next week, please, God. We'll be talking next week. We're going to be touching a bit on hormonal imbalance in females. We're going to be speaking about thyroid health in men. So look out for that.
And we'll be announcing the Father's giveaway.
Yes, and that giveaway we had for Fathers June. We will be doing, giving out, we'll be announcing those. So you still have time. It's the 26th of June. June is not finished. So remember, post, like, comment.
Leave a comment.
Leave a comment.
Tag a family member.
Tag a family member. Okay, so God bless you guys and do enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Take care.